Welcome to Audio Services channel. Today we have a KORG 01W keyboard on the bench for repair and restoration works. Keyboard powers up. When I press the buttons, they work. However, the screen is blank. Today, we are going to replace the LCD display of this keyboard with an upgraded version that is brighter and more vibrant than the original screen. We shall start by first removing all the screws on the back panel of the keyboard. Once all the screws have been removed, the back panel can now be lifted up and removed from the keyboard. This back panel can now be placed on the floor or against the wall. Here is the new LCD display. I am going to first test the display by removing the old display cable and connecting the new display cable. Now I'm going to switch on the keyboard and the new display should light up brightly with clear words. This new display functions perfectly. Now I can start the process of removing the old display and replacing it with this new LCD display. Please note that this keyboard contains high voltages and certain areas of the power supply board can still store high voltages of more than 240 volts even when the keyboard is switched off. Please refer servicing and repair to qualified service technicians. I've been repairing keyboards and audio equipment for the past 30 years. I have already opened up more than 50 units of KORG 01W keyboards to replace the LCD display. It looks easy when I am disassembling and reassembling the keyboard, but this process takes a lot of practice to get the job done perfectly. First we will remove all the connectors from the digital main board. Then remove the screws that are holding the main board. I normally mark the cable connectors with numbers that correspond to their position on the main board. Next, remove the screws that are mounting the audio board. Now, the audio output board and the digital main board can be removed from the keyboard and stored on a different table. Extra care should be taken with the digital main board as it is sensitive to ESD. There are going to be more than 100 screws that is removed in the process of disassembly and reassembly of a KORG 01W keyboard. I normally will mark the positions of the screws with a permanent fine tip marker with a circle around the screws before I remove the screws. In this video, I am using a camera that was mounted on my body. Certain screws that I removed was not really visible as the camera recorded an angle that did not display the board at the right angle and zoom. I apologize for this error. For future videos, I will also use another camera that is mounted directly above the board. This will ensure that future videos will have better and clearer views of the board and equipment that I repair. Next, I will remove the floppy disk drive. Pay attention to this area. The floppy disk drive, the bender plastic housing, the key bed and the metal rod are mounted one on top of the other. Reassembly will become a nightmare if you forget how you remove these parts. Now, I am removing the screws that hold the key bed. Then I can remove the key bed and place it away from the keyboard. Once the key bed has been removed, I can now start to remove the screws that hold the power supply board. I will also remove 4 screws that hold the IEC socket and main power switch. Once all the screws holding the power board has been removed, the power board can now be lifted and stored aside. Next, I will now proceed to remove the pitch bend plastic assembly. Next, I will remove the long metal piece that is mounted across the keyboard. Pay attention and place a marking on the left side. When reassembling, make sure the marking is mounted back on the left side. It is also advisable to mark a circle around the screws before you remove the screws. Now, this metal piece can be removed and stored aside. Next, mark and remove the screws that is holding the silver-colored plastic sheet. Now, we are almost at the final stage of disassembly. Remove the screws holding this board. Once this board is removed, you will be able to see the LCD display board. Now, remove the screws that are holding the old LCD display board. This board can then be removed and put aside. Now, the new LCD board is mounted into the keyboard, and we will start the process of reassembling all the parts that were removed earlier until we get this KORG 01W back into one piece again. I use a brush to remove the dust from this board before reassembling it back into the keyboard. Once everything has been installed back, I will now replace the KORG 01W internal memory battery with a new battery. And now, here is the KORG 01W keyboard fully assembled back and ready for final testing. And this is the new LCD display. It's functioning perfectly. Now, I will test all the keys. All keys are functioning perfectly. This keyboard repair process is completed, and the keyboard will be tested for a few hours before returned back to its owner. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to Audio Services channel for more content like this. Have an awesome day. See you in the next video.